extra G and an extra T.
Triumph.
Listen, y'all. Don't poke the tiger, okay? Okay?
Did you learn? Did you learn this time? Did you learn?
I have to say, after they did the relay, and Mike was kind of slow, I was like, oh, maybe he's saving up for the 100. And then when the 100 actually came around, I like almost threw up. I was so nervous because it was kind of like I felt like I knew in my heart of hearts that he would win, but I really didn't know if he would. Because it's been
there were
he took so much time off.
So many issues at play. He was wearing his laser racer, which is like old and tired, and nobody everyone wants to send it to like the high-tech swimsuit rest home.
So there were a lot of elements at play, so I was a little bit nervous.
I mean, as much as we like rag on Milorad, and I would, out of fairness, I would say that it has nothing to do with his swimming per se. It's about, you know, his antics and his attitude, which everyone now seems to think is great for the sport, because it's like, I can't really do the OK Corral music, but thank you. Yeah, I was losing my mind.
Yeah, I was screaming, and it was funny because it was when he won, it was like, at first I was just excited, and so I was like screaming, I was like, oh my god, and I felt that Olympic spirit within me, and then I got a little emotional, and I felt a tear welling up in my eye. And he took our advice. This was not, one of the things we talked about at Nationals was the only thing that was not good about his 100 fly was the little situation with his swim cap. How it kind of stayed on his head. You could tell he really made a solid effort to like rip it from the back.
He got his fingers under there and got the whole thing off in one fell swoop.
And I'm not gonna lie, when he was like looking all angry and thrashing around, kind of sexy.
And he was like, I did it in the old suit. And like, how do you like me now? Bitches.
And you could tell he was kind of feisty even in the press conference. He was like, hi.
No, but see,
not really.
So he was like, you hit the wall. Oh, and this is, I thought this was really hot. This wasn't really that big of a thing, but it was like he got to the wall and he turned around, and I guess he saw what the time was, and right before he like touched his head to take his goggles off, he sort of did this. Like I think he
like bring it,
like I'm number one.
But the thing I want to mention, the thing that I think made it really exciting, was not just that there was like all this hype around it, that it's like the rematch a year later. It was like the fact that when they were on the blocks, they stared at each other for what seemed like an eternity. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be
And it
serious.
got, I don't know what it was actually like there, but when they did the set, and it was so quiet. It was like, you could hear a pin drop. There was no, like, there wasn't some random idiot being like, Michael, I love you! Like, it was really quiet, and then...
but then I knew, see, this is how I knew. They were staring at each other, and it was like an unbreakable glance. And then someone named Milorad looked down. I was like, you lost it already. Now you just lost because you forfeited the stare. The stare down is the preliminary battle. I have to say, even though we were like totally bashing him before, he was such a gentleman after
he's a classy guy. I think, I mean...
Because when I heard that he was talking smack, it was hearsay, so I never actually heard him say it. And then when I watched it, I was kind of like, he's not really being that mean.
The only thing that I kind of thought was lame was, and again, like, he was saying, oh, I guess about buying Michael, like, I'll buy him whatever suit he wants. He's like, the media just takes these things out of context. And part of me is like, no, they didn't. They were reporting, like, verbatim what you said. So, like, you can play that card.
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit snarky. But,
you know, I think that he genuinely believes he can beat Michael. So as long, I mean, it hasn't happened as of yet, but as long as, you know.
I have to say, though, he's a better loser than Michael is. When Michael loses, you know he is not feeling it. He was, like, really cool. He was like, oh, if you lose to anybody, like, it should be him, he's the best, blah, blah, blah. And Michael, I guess because he is the best, is like, what? No, this is wrong. Redo, rematch.